I brought the sensor logs, Master SWTOR.
I'm sure you have many questions. Master Tolbraga will answer them.
It's good to finally meet you in person. They say you're the greatest Jedi the Order has seen in generations.
Wow, that is a transparent attempt to butter me up. I mean, not to be immodest, but I am pretty great. But greatest in generations, yeah, sorry, even my ego's not that big.
I'm organizing a top-secret strike team of our best and brightest, Jedi who don't know the meaning of failure. Twice, you've saved the Jedi Order from destruction. Banglemore and Darth Angel were formidable opponents. Now I ask you to confront the ultimate evil and help me capture the Sith Emperor.
Damn, this guy doesn't think small, does he?
You don't dream small, do you, Master?
Damn, I had no idea we were so in sync that we were guessing each other's lines. That was just creepy. Well, the Emperor's got his own private man cave somewhere where it's shielded and secluded. Nobody knows where exactly he is, not even the Sith. But we're on track to try to find it so we can finally go in there and nab him.
The man you saved on Tatooine scouted the Drummond caste system. His sensor logs will help us plan this assault.
We'll plot a hyperspace route through the Imperial Navy's defenses. Slip right past them.
Well, I gotta tell you, I for one am in love with the idea of this plan. Not having to fight our way through there, but just slip past them, I'm all for it. I'm just a little concerned that it won't work that way. I only base this upon every single moment of my entire life. Still, we have to give this a try, and the first step is for me to work with one of the associates who are currently operating on Balmorra. Together, we're going to Voltron together something to cause this whole plan to happen. So, Balmorra is our first stop in trying to get the Emperor.
Master Braga told me you were coming. Warren Sidoru, a pleasure. I'm grateful for your assistance. The situation is growing desperate. The Republic picked an unfortunate time to drive the Empire off Balmorra. It's made our team's mission that much harder.
Yeah, much the same way that you spend the early level developing things on Terrace just so the Empire can come around and drive your people off the planet. It's your turn now to come to Balmorra and undo everything that the Sith had been doing in their early chapter. So yeah, you'll be helping the rebels and the Republic in fighting off the Empire, but not losing sight of the mission that we're here for.
We're here for one particular item. We've learned the Empire has a cloaking device prototype at one of Balmorra's advanced weapon factories. It's the same technology hiding the Emperor's fortress. If we obtain that cloaking device prototype, we can understand how it works, develop a way to see through it.
That sounds easier said than done, but whatever, that's a technical problem. My problem is just getting the damn thing. Unfortunately, the rebels are disinclined to help us right now with the Empire's boot on their throat and all of that, so I'm going to need to build some bridges here.
Republic Command just intercepted a distress call. A Resistance medical facility is about to be overrun. I'd go, but an Imperial armor column's in my way. I need you to save that medical facility.
There's nothing about that I don't like. The idea of not only helping people rise up against authoritarianism, but also having a chance to protect the wounded, to ensure that they can be treated safely. Perfect. Much better than all that Alderaan bullshit I just finished, having to deal with feuding houses and all of that. Death rays. Oh, and the giant bugs. I never want to see another giant bug as long as I live. What is with our habit of clinging so hard to planets that are infested with insects? Do you buy a house like that? Do you say, oh, that place is filled with roaches? When can I move in? Yeah, it seems that the information was a bit misleading. It wasn't that the place was being attacked by Imperial forces. It's being attacked by giant bugs. That'd be kind of nice to know ahead of time. I came in here prepared for lasers and not armored carapaces and snapping jaws. Now, the big difference between these Colicoids here and the Killiks that we had just dealt with over on Alderaan was that at least the Killiks had some clearly demonstrable intelligence to them. These Colicoids are just basically animals. On the one hand, it's nice not to be wiping out whole armies of sapient beings for a change. But on the other, that means that these things can't really be negotiated with, which means there's a fairly good chance they're going to try this again. Which means I'm not really solving a problem so much as dealing with the problem for the moment until they decide to try this again. It just bothers me because, on the whole, I don't like killing, even of things that aren't intelligent. So when I do kill, I like to know I'm solving the problem. Here I'm not really solving anything. I'm just kind of kicking it further down the road, and that's not really good. It's, well, I've bought some time by a whole lot of face stabbing. This doesn't sit right with me.
The Jedi bought us some time. Get our wounded to the secure area. Move it! I'm the chief medic. Just call me Doc. You and your gorgeous friend cleared a nice path, but we can't leave. Got a whole nest of collocoids massing to attack.
Oh boy, how to even explain Doc? Okay, if you haven't played MMOs before, you need to have 3 roles filled if you're going to do serious combat. The first of those is what's called the tank. Their job is basically to be able to take a lot of abuse and to draw a great deal of attention. This is called threat. The second role is to then be the healer, the person who heals the tank and anyone else, but most especially the tank. And then the third role is damage, or DPS. Their job is to do all the damage while the other 2 are busy keeping everything busy and everyone alive. Like, imagine Darth Vader striding into a rebel base surrounded by stormtroopers who are firing at people. Everybody's paying attention to Vader because he's this big badass in the middle of the room killing everybody. And so consequently less attention is being paid to the stormtroopers. The only difference is that there's no one behind Vader keeping his health up while he's being shot at because he's able to just avoid everything because, again, he's a badass. Well, that's the kind of thing that happens here. Now, every class has a chance to fill 2 of those 3 roles, and most advanced classes have a chance to fill 1 of 2. For instance, if you're doing the bounty hunter, you have the choice of becoming a power tech or mercenary. A power tech is a person who gets right up close, so they could be doing damage, or it could be their job to tank, to draw the attention. A mercenary, on the other hand, hangs back. It could be their job to do damage, or it could be their job to heal. And all those things make sense. If you're a hired gun, naturally, you're going to wind up being in situations where you're working with others. So being able to draw attention to keep other people alive, like some kind of bodyguard, or being able to heal because you're part of some kind of mercenary unit, all makes perfect sense. The problem comes in with the smuggler class, because the smuggler class essentially is, I'm an independent contractor who's been kind of drawn into this shit. Or maybe I've chosen to be involved in this shit. But in any event, this shit is not my day-to-day stuff. So if you're a smuggler who chooses to be a gunslinger, you're basically someone who's really good with a blaster who has chosen to join in this fray. If you're a scoundrel, though, you could decide, I want to heal people. Let me reiterate. You've chosen as a career criminal. I'm going to deliver illegal contraband to people for a living. And if you follow the storyline of the smuggler, it's about making bucks. It's not about, I've got to get behind enemy lines to give them these valuable medical supplies in order to be able to survive. Nah, it's about delivering things that are just plain illegal. To be honest, I could be fudging some of the details. It's been a while since I last did a smuggler class. But my point is that they've essentially created, because of the game mechanics, the archetype of a smuggler who also wants to be able to help people who are hurt. It's not impossible, but it's a little strange. And if you follow Doc, it kind of makes you an insufferable ass. So yeah, that's what makes Doc what he is. He's a fusion of 2 different things. A fully qualified physician who likes to hang out in seedy bars and maybe run some stuff behind enemy lines.
Hey, look at that. We are alive. Nice work.
A lot of wounded here. You're the only doctor?
Honey, I do the work of 10 medics, and that's on a bad day.
Well, that kind of goes without saying. If you have to do that much treatment, odds are things aren't going that great. But at least he understands that this is not really a solution. This is only buying some time until the bugs try again. We need to evacuate everybody out of here. The problem is that he needs trauma kits in order to be able to do that with the most serious cases, or they won't survive. And the Imperials stole all of those. So, guess I'm going to go bring them back. This is a bit of a dilemma for me. I need to get medical supplies to save people, no matter how many people I have to kill first.
I got as many trauma kits as I could find.
The Imperials won't miss them. Our boys shoot to kill.
Your bedside manner must be incredible if you think that's helpful. At least we can get back to the matter of the cloaking device.
This super advanced gadget you're after? The Resistance can narrow down its location, but we need access to the enemy's computer network. The only connection point is at Sobrik, which is covered in Imperial forces. Troop legions, walkers, heavy bombers. Fun place.
Yeah, we really should have come for the off-season. But we could shift the odds in our favor by creating a false alarm and drawing forces away from Sobrik to leave it free for a surgical strike to get what we need. We wouldn't even need a diversionary attack. We could just attack the sensors themselves and trigger a false signal to make it look like there's a massive attack when there isn't.
I doubt the Empire leaves its comm relays unguarded.
The comm relays are protected by advanced Imperial war droids. Very fast, extremely deadly. I'm no longer quick enough to defeat those war droids. But you are.
Then the Resistance can raid the Empire's computer network. We'll figure out where they've stashed that whatchamacthingy you want.
Use this datapad on the comm relays to upload the fake emergency signals. I'll find a good vantage spot to watch Sobrik and keep you informed of our progress. Be careful out there.
So since we're once again running around the countryside beating the shit out of things, let me take a moment to clarify something that I mentioned early on that seems to have confused people what I meant. See, in 1977, when Lucas was handing Star Wars over to more and more outside people to start making things, he decided that he was going to give a series of interviews, essentially, as characters in order to explain what all went on in the universe of Star Wars. He did one as C-3PO, one as Leia, and one as Han in the summer of 77. So, during this, he clarified a bunch of things, like, for example, why Chewbacca never got a medal. Quote, Chewbacca wasn't given a medal because medals don't really mean much to Wookiees. They don't really put too much credence in them. They have different kinds of ceremonies. The Wookiee Chewbacca was in fact given a great prize and honor during a ceremony with his own people. The whole contingent from the Rebel Alliance went to Chewbacca's people and participated in a very large celebration. It was an honor for the entire Wookiee race. So one of the things that he talked about was the Force, and he was very adamant about it. It's not about being a warrior. It's about, well, I'll use his words, a way of feeling. It's a way of being with life. It really has nothing to do with weapons. The Force gives you the power to have extrasensory perception and to be able to see things and hear things, read minds and levitate. And prepare to have your mind blown. It is said that certain creatures are born with a higher awareness of the Force than humans. Their brains are different. They have more midichlorians in their cells. That's right, 1977, midichlorians. This is like finding a dinosaur with a jetpack. But anyway, what he finally says about it is that the Force is always there. Anyone who studied and worked hard could learn it. But you would have to do it on your own. His whole reason for that last part being that Ben was the last of the Jedi who could teach. Luke was barely scratching the surface with what Obi-Wan had managed to teach him about learning it. Anyway, my point isn't that this is all a contradiction, but rather to show how much things have changed. In the original idea, becoming a Jedi was the same way that you might go to some hidden temple and learn some mastery of the martial arts or something. Except in this case, it was a connection to this larger force that existed. And that's become about me running around this blasted war zone dealing with robots.
Perfect. Sobrick's defenses have been reduced to the bare minimum. The resistance team is heading in. I think it's best if you follow and keep an eye on them. Too much is riding on this mission.
I'll make sure our allies come back alive.
The resistance team identified a vehicle depot as their best access point to the Imperial computer system. Transmitting the grid coordinates now. I'll continue monitoring Sobrick. If I see trouble, I'll alert you immediately. Keep our new friends safe. Over and out.
Sure, that sounds easy enough. Which should have tipped me off that it isn't.
Have you accessed the Imperial network?
Already downloaded everything. We were leaving when the Imperial medical transport landed for refueling. Avers and his men opened fire.
Balmoran scum! Murderers! My men are dying. We'll never reach the med center now.
Yeah, that's right. I'm on the side that just ambushed an ambulance. Can this day get any worse?
Reed? Colicoid nests stirred up by fighting. Waves of them headed for Sobrick's outskirts. Leave now or you'll be surrounded.
I can save these soldiers if someone keeps the colicoids off me.
See this right here. This is a perfect symbol of my life. I can either fight an entire army of killer bugs while my allies feverishly work to save our enemies, or I can cravenly run away and save my own sorry ass while the wounded and helpless men and women that my side left in this building are swarmed and eaten alive. Sometimes it really sucks being the good guy.
I have done some crazy things, but this beats them all.
That was heroic. These men owe you their lives. So do I.
I want every Imperial on Balmora to know how a Jedi and a Resistance doctor saved your lives.
I'd never falsify a report, no matter how distasteful.
Leaving here would be a lot easier if there was another transport. Actually, I did see a speeder bike outside. Only seats one.
If you're asking if Kira can sit on your lap, the answer is no. So we make our way back to rendezvous with Oberyn and discuss our next plan.
This is Nicholan Cord, one of the top resistance leaders. He analyzed the data we obtained from Sobrick, found us a lead.
One of our spies was captured weeks ago, attempting to steal what might be the Empire's cloaking device project. The data revealed where she's being held.
Sounds like someone we should talk to. How do we free her?
We believe she's inside an Imperial Tactical Operations base. Heavily fortified, protected by a regiment of troops.
Well, that's where I come in.
Colonel Finley commands the Republic's 5th Expeditionary Force. He's agreed to assist our operation.
Was that before or after you removed him from his sarcophagus? See, the problem we're facing is that the building where the spy is being held is massive blast doors. If there's word that an army is coming their way, they can just close them up and there'll be no way to get inside. So instead, the plan is for this army to create a distraction, a real distraction this time, and then I'll slip inside and disable those blast doors so that we can properly get in there and free the spy. Oh, and just for extra giggles, we have to bring along the resistance leader. Seems that rescuing her from Imperial torture and probable death isn't enough to make her actually do anything helpful for us. We need him there to vouch for us.
Bad news, my friend. The Empire just landed heavy war droids in the region. Hunter-killers. The droids are patrolling the territory between you and the objective. If they detect you heading for that Imperial base, they'll raise an alert. We can't risk the base's blast shields closing before you get there. You'll have to disable those war droids quickly.
Yeah, I was kind of planning on doing that anyway, on account of I don't like being shot at. So yeah, we quickly eliminate the droids and anyone else who gets in our way, and head way down into this crater to where the entrance is. And then, we proceed to battle our way through the Imperial base. I hesitate to call this straightforward. I mean, on the one hand, it kind of is. On the other hand, any day that you're just waltzing into the enemy base and just taking out everybody, it just doesn't seem like it's that normal. What a refreshing change of pace to break something without having to bash it.
Warren, I've disabled the base's blast shields. It's wide open for you.
We're almost there, but Colonel Finley detects a reactor surge coming from the base. Looks like the base commander initiated a self-destruct sequence. You don't have much time to stop it. Shut down all the security consoles in there as fast as you can. Hurry!
Oh man, I break something, somebody else comes along and tries to break things even worse. I hate this keeping up with the Joneses crap.
Self-destruct aborted. The base is ours, Warren. Send in the troops.
You're fine.
Yeah, thanks. That's the kind of emotional support I'm used to getting in the Jedi Order. Alright, let's go free the prisoner.
Doc, what are you doing here?
I'm busting you out, sweetheart. Where else would I be?
I hope that's just friendly banter because you've met back up again. If all of this was just to spring your girlfriend, I'm gonna pace back and forth like the impotent dick that I am.
Maddle, what have you learned about the Empire's cloaking device?
Imperial scientists left Balmora with the prototype when the Republic invaded. It's long gone.
Maddle, I sense great conflict within you. I know you're lying. What are you afraid of?
Wait, maybe we should take this back to the base tavern so I could have a good long drink before she answers.
The truth will come out. Wouldn't you rather be the one who reveals it?
When Nicolin hears the truth, he'll want to kill me. Promise you'll stop him.
No one will hurt you. Tell us everything.
Take it easy. Whatever this is, we'll work it out.
The Empire offered me a deal. Cooperate or die slowly. I told them everything about the Resistance. Names, locations, plans.
I knew it. The Empire has been slaughtering our people using your information!
Yeah, this is going to be about as ugly as a Gamorrean going through the windshield and hitting the asphalt.
The Empire is studying it at the Balmoran Arms Factory. It's there, I promise.
What kind of security does this Balmoran arms factory have?
Their defense grid's the tightest on the planet. I got in, but I couldn't get out.
You know the price of betrayal.
Wait, she has enemy intelligence. She could be an asset.
Yeah, plus I didn't go to all this trouble just so you could murder her in cold blood. The Republic's going to take her off-world so the Resistance can't get revenge against her, and boy, are they pissed about that. But we've got bigger problems right now, like this heavily armed weapons factory.
I know that place inside out. Need a shortcut through that Rancor's den? Well, I'm your man.
Welcome to the team, Doc. I'll try not to get you killed.
Hey, if the Imperials attack with grenades, you can throw Doc on them.
Okay, well, it's pretty obvious I can't bring both of you on this operation if you're just going to wind up killing each other. Despite help from the Republic forces, we still have got quite a slog on our hands trying to get all the way to that weapons factory, only to then have to fight our way through it. Hard to believe this could have been worse without Doc's help.
The turbolift's locked down, but don't worry. Slicing Imperial security codes is a hobby of mine.
See what I mean about the scoundrel background?
Doc, I thought the imps had killed you.
You too, Remy? How you making out, old fella?
Same as always. Pretend to cooperate with the Imperials and stab them in the back every chance I get.
What a coincidence, because I'm a knife salesman. What's wrong with me? To make things smoother, he gives me his access card and proceeds to get the hell out of here through the hole that we just made.
Hello, are you there? It's Colonel Finley. We have a new problem.
Oh, what is it now? At this point, it wouldn't surprise me if we turned it on, dropped it, and now we can't find it.
The Resistance has learned of Imperial research into weapons that use cloaking device technology. If the enemy can hide their missiles and bombs from detection, imagine the carnage.
Have they successfully tested such a weapon, or is it just speculation?
What difference does it make? We still need to look into it. You must recover all the Empire's research data on this project and deliver it to us.
There's bound to be a computer hub up there somewhere.
This may be our only opportunity. Do everything you can. Finley out.
Okay, well, stealing some computer files on the thing that we are currently stealing, that's not adding a whole lot of mission creep here. No, the only problem we're facing as we fight our way through here is what we find out at the end. That the Resistance also has their eye on all this stuff.
That's far enough. We're almost done here.
Nicolin, what are you doing?
The cloaking device prototype belongs to the people of Balmora, not the Republic.
Yeah, never trust a revolutionary who says this belongs to the people. Inevitably, they get into power and turn into a nut.
All citizens will be required to change their underwear every half hour. Underwear will be worn on the outside, so we can check. Furthermore, all children under 16 years old are now 16 years old.
We've spent decades fighting for this planet after the Republic rolled over for the Empire. Now you're back to loot our resources? This prototype may be the most valuable technology on Balmorra. You're not taking it.
Well, funny how you're happy to throw me at the Empire every chance you've got, but the moment that I need something to, save the entire galaxy, all of a sudden it becomes, oh, looting, pillage, oh, you're no better, nyeh, nyeh, nyeh. Don't think I forgot how when the word came in about the colicoids, you were the one that cried out, every man for himself.
Colicoids? They'll rip us apart! Every man for himself! Move!
Not even ready to watch out for your own squad mates. Yeah, you've really shamed me with how united the Balmorran people are.
Aren't the Jedi all about justice? If that's true, let us leave with what's rightfully ours.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that this isn't actually yours. I think that it was probably designed by a bunch of engineers and then built by a whole bunch more, and it was all financed, maybe even by the Empire itself. Who knows? The point is, just because a Balmorran made it and you're a Balmorran doesn't mean it belongs to you. And claiming some kind of, well, it belongs to the Balmorran people and I am the Balmorran people doesn't really sit with me, considering you were about to gun down a Balmorran person if it wasn't for my intervention. So I think I'm going to ask you nicely to hand that over to me and use it to then save the galaxy, the one that you're in. You're welcome.
The Jedi will return this technology once we're done with it. Please hand it over.
The Jedi will return this once they're done with it. Hand it over, Avers. I'd offer you transportation, but I'm afraid the shuttle only seats 2. Good luck.
Some days, that can be really satisfying.
Now that's smooth talking. One thing's for sure, I'm not working for the Resistance anymore. Got a spare bunk on your ship for a superb combat medic?
Sure do. Know any? Just kidding, we can definitely use the help, but with the enormity of the task we're taking on, I'm certainly not going to turn my nose up at anybody offering to pitch in.
I have the cloaking device prototype.
After the blood that's been spilled today, that's a ray of hope. I'm returning to the Republic base where you first landed. Meet me there.
Yeah, I've only got this incredibly valuable tech. I'll find my own way out.
I have the cloaking device prototype and the Empire's weapon research data.
We've denied the enemy a considerable technological edge and broken its hold on Balmorra. I'll send the research data to Coruscant. There's a Dr. Godera waiting to review it. Friend of yours, I understand?
Oh, yes. It's very fortunate that I know him. So I know to stay away.
I'll deliver this to Master Braga and the Council on Tython. Master Braga's faith in you is well placed. I'm honored to serve with you.
Thanks, I appreciate that, and I respect you too, despite the fact that I very likely got your name wrong. Just really is hard to understand it, and I didn't care enough to look it up on the Wikipedia. Better go report this mission a success.
Master Braga, the mission to Balmorra was a success. We have the cloaking device prototype.
Outstanding. I never doubted you for a moment. How did you find working with my old friend Warren?
Yeah, it really didn't sound like Warren the time that I heard it. It sounded like something a lot more complicated. I could probably go back in time and correct that, but it's not worth the time machine. I'll just call him by the wrong name and continue to not care.
You've brought us a great leap closer to finding the Emperor. But there's a new problem.
Yeah, color me surprised. But there's a new problem should be the title of my biography.
I've lost contact with my Padawan under unusual and dangerous circumstances. You're uniquely qualified to deal with this.
What is it that makes me so special?
Your former student, Kira, has much in common with mine. SWTOR is no ordinary Padawan. He was once a Sith Lord, a member of the Empire's Dark Council.
Man, turning a member of the Dark Council? That's like rolling a natural 21 on a 20-sided die. Anyway, he's on Quesh right now, that toxic swamp planet where all the adrenals are made. Apparently things have gotten kind of ugly there, and he's refusing to help, so I'm going to have to do something about that.
My Padawan won't answer his holo.
Sounds like he's afraid of something, but what?
Only a strong Jedi can help Sage Island save the base. I'm transmitting the planet's coordinates now.
All right, off to go help a former member of the Dark Council. As if this day hasn't been weird enough already.
Go. He needs you. And you need him.
I was doing it anyway. Did you have anything helpful to add, or are you just going to be cryptic here?
This sounds urgent. We should go to Quesh right away.
I'm doing it. Why is everybody pressuring me on this? Just ask. I mean, I got the Jedi Master. I got you. I got a freaking dead guy, all trying to get me to get there as quickly as possible. I know it's urgent. I'm starting to wonder if this is some kind of extremely elaborate trap. Oh, they still got this thing, huh? Yeah, every planet has got a planetary mission to it that is purely voluntary. You don't have to do them in order to advance the story, although in a lot of cases it assumes that you have. But in this particular case, you have to take on the quest in order to be able to go down there. You go over and get your little injection from this guy. He tells you all about the stuff going on the planet, and then you're automatically given the mission. And if you don't want to do it, you got to go in there and remove it. But you still get to go down. I think. Actually, I've never removed it on the station and then tried going down. I'm sure they wouldn't make you... Nah. Even they wouldn't put that kind of time sink in there where you've got to keep the quest in there all the time, or else you got to pick it up.
I'm ready to have a look at this poison planet.
Speak to General Corvan when you land. He'll brief you on the current situation.
That's not going to happen. Look, I sympathize with whatever problems you people are dealing with, but everybody's got a problem somewhere. And I'm trying to deal with the granddaddy of them all, the Emperor, of the Sith Empire we're fighting. So yeah, it's not that I don't want to go down there and help. It's just in the time that it takes me to deal with one planetary problem, I'll bet 3 new planetary problems are going to emerge somewhere else until the Emperor's been dealt with. So yeah, thanks, but no thanks. One thing I seriously appreciate compared to the Empire is the fact that when you land on Quesh as the light side, you don't have to wait for the world's longest elevator in order to go anywhere. That has always bugged me as being so obnoxious. There is absolutely no reason for it. There's no way around it until you've actually gotten down there. It is purely a waste of your time. But here, you don't have to do that. No, I appreciate that. But I don't know why we don't have that on the other side, too. Why does one side have to have some kind of time sink and the other one doesn't?
My master sent you, didn't he? Of course. My shame is complete.
Oh, this conversation's off to a promising start. Plus, I wouldn't tempt fate by saying shame being complete. I found that shame is kind of like a bowel movement after you've had spicy food. Oh, you could think that maybe it has been as bad as it possibly can be, but that's the moment when you find out, no, there's more and it's worse.
This war, I wasn't ready. I never should have left Tython.
I'm here to help. Tell me what's wrong.
When the Empire first invaded, the soldiers here captured some Imperial scouts. Brought them to me for interrogation. The prisoners angered me. I killed them. Lied about what happened. When Imperial forces arrived outside, I hurled the corpses at them. Revealed my true face.
I came in here expecting bad. And boy, did I get it. I mean, he didn't kill any of our people. I was afraid that was what might have happened. But, yeah, when a Sith relapses, it's much uglier than when a drunk relapses. At worst, you're just going to shit yourself and maybe total your speeder. But you're unlikely to be hurling dead people at others.
The only reason I stayed is because an Imperial officer recognized me. Called me by my old name. Said the Emperor's wrath is coming. He's sending his personal executioner for me. His wrath incarnate. I will be punished for my crimes.
Yeah, apparently this Emperor's wrath is some kind of ageless henchman that works for the Emperor, who's been, serving him for centuries. And, Now it's coming here, so we've got something to look forward to.
Fighting would accelerate my return to the dark side. I'd rather die with Jedi teachings in my heart.
The last thing we need is him going dark side in here. We'll have to save this base without him.
Yeah, Kira and I are going to handle the fighting. We'll leave non-combat stuff to him. The ray shields in this case. You can't go dark side handling ray shields. So yeah, we eliminate whatever Imperials have managed to get into the base while they work to get those defenses up. And finally, they succeed and we've cleared the place out, so it all looks good.
Hang on. We've got movement outside the ray shield. Who is that?
I'm hoping that that's a guy named Ray, because particle shields are what stop matter.
What a mystery the Force can be. I came seeking a traitor, but found you instead. The time draws near.
I've spent my whole life listening to philosophical teachings, and you are still the weirdest person I've ever heard.
You're strong and touched by darkness. That is unexpected. An advantage? Possibly. You may keep the Dark Council traitor. I smell his weakness. He'll die by his own hand, given the chance.
Okay then. Glad we can agree on that one.
The Emperor must hear of our meeting. I won't disappoint him with delays. Farewell for now.
You know, of all the things I was expecting from this confrontation, confusion wasn't one of them.
The Emperor's wrath is gone. He isn't coming back for you.
It felt good protecting the base. For a moment, I forgot what I'd done. Nothing makes sense anymore. I don't know what to do.
Okay, look, I'll help you out with this. Step 1, please don't kill anyone. Step 2, and I cannot emphasize this enough, don't throw dead people at other people, okay? Look, there's some reinforcements coming. Then you can turn yourself into the Jedi, and they'll help you work through all of this. Anything you've done here, we've had to deal with before. You may be pushing the envelope a little bit, but still, we can help.
All this time, living among Jedi, and I've learned nothing of forgiveness. I will confess everything to the Council, and let them decide my fate. May the Force be with you.
Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the
Master Braga, your Padawan and the Republic base are safe. The Imperials attacked, but I drove them off. Sajar is turning himself in to the Jedi Council. He confessed to committing war crimes against Imperial prisoners.
I can't believe it.
All right, look, before we jump the gun on anything here, let's just keep a bit of perspective and remember this guy used to be a member of the Dark Council. So when you throw that in there and then think about what he did, it's not as bad. It's, you know, think of it like golf, okay? You need a bit of a handicap when you're factoring in the degree to which a person, if they backslide, how much they're going to backslide, even if it's just for a moment. You know, this isn't bad at all compared to the things that he did when he was in the Dark Council, when he would, well, we all know what he did. We can certainly imagine the kinds of things he used to do. So by comparison, not so bad. Look, headline here, wants to atone. Let's not lose sight of that. Now, more to the point, the Emperor's wrath showed up and let him go, but he had some weird-ass things to say about me.
I'm sure his interest in you is related to the Darth Anquil incident. Our strike team is pursuing a new goal on the ice planet Hoth. We're up against pirates and Imperials there. We need your help. Travel to Hoth and contact Jedi Knight Liha Nerez. She'll explain more. May the Force be with you.
So yeah, Liha Nerez quickly fills us in with the plan. You might recall that the reason why everybody is so interested in Hoth is because it's a starship graveyard. There are wrecks all over the place from some old battle, and there's all kinds of reasons to go digging around in there. In this case, it's because there are plans on the Emperor's little hideaway, which, you know, could be helpful considering that we're planning to infiltrate that.
One of the Empire's top scientists during the war upgraded the fortress's defenses. He was the only non-Sith to ever see the inside. The technical readouts were lost when the scientists crashed here. His shipwreck has never been found.
Until now. Until now, right?
Your job is to clear the way once I know where we're going. Those technical readouts are critical to infiltrating the Emperor's fortress. We will not fail.
Well, I hope we can use your optimism as a dowsing rod, because I don't feel good about this plan at all. So, down we go to Hoth for Stage 1 of Operation... We really need to do this.
Sorry I couldn't meet you. We've got a full-scale Imperial invasion on our hands. They caught us by surprise.
Tell me your position. I'll come to you.
I'm defending a forward outpost, but our support team is pinned down closer to you. I'm sending the coordinates now. You're looking for a detachment from the 301st Infantry led by Sergeant Rusk. His squad is being overrun by Imperial probe droids.
Yeah, look at that. We've landed on the planet, and forget what our mission is. We're stuck with some busy work first. So yeah, we head off to the outpost where we deal with a bunch of Imperials and their probe droids in order to help out Sergeant Rusk and his posse.
Leha Nerez sent me. Looks like I got here just in time.
No worries, Master Jedi. I was prepared to hold this position indefinitely.
What, by building some kind of fortress out of your dead? The only one you've got left is this poor schmuck.
We're a squad until I say otherwise, Private. Now on your feet.
Your man's in need of a Kolto tank.
You're a squad of one, Sergeant.
He can hold a rifle. That's all the mission requires.
He really knows how to inspire his troops, doesn't he? When more droids start coming, Kira and I take care of them so that this guy doesn't start shoving his wounded man in the general direction of the fray. I just hope this was worth it.
Sergeant, evacuate your man to a medical facility.
These are the Imperial survey maps of the Starship Graveyard. Leha Nerez wants to see them. I'll return to base and reconstitute my squad.
I have the sneaking suspicion you mean that in the food sense, where you're going to be adding water and stirring. Hope these plans are worth it.
This is General Callan Green, Republic High Command.
Oh yeah, then there's this problem. See, this guy's unhappy because we have taken one squad. Okay, well, it is Rusk, so probably the equivalent of a company by the time we're finished with them. Because of that, he wants us to basically be his own personal Jedi to run around and do things. Admittedly, it's to deal with Imperials. It's not like he wants us to do his dry cleaning or something, so grudgingly, I head out and deal with some weapons platforms so they don't get bombed. It is the decent Jedi thing to do. So, is there any chance we can have some progress on our actual mission? I mean, no offense, the place is pretty, but I'd kind of like to move on.
I have the Imperial survey maps of the Starship Graveyard.
I understand Sergeant Rusk's squad paid dearly for these.
Like paying off a credit card by going to a loan shark. So she has her droids, the meaties, look these things over.
Ever since I built the meaties, I've been teaching them Jedi history, philosophy, everything. Someday, the meaties will prove that even droids can use the Force.
Right. Alright, how about if we move on to the more relevant and plausible part? Trying to find a single ship on an entire ice planet.
The Empire recently discovered a crash site matching the scientist vessel. Imperial forces are excavating the wreck at an ice cavern nearby. We need to move fast, and we'll need reinforcements.
Yes, we need blaster sponges in order to exhaust the enemy ammo supply. So, into the cave we go with a whole lot of fighting and bashing and mostly just realizing how frickin' cold it is around here. I mean, Hoth is very nice to look at, but not a great place to hang out.
Impatience got the better of me. I blundered in here like a Padawan. The heavy turrets were an unpleasant surprise.
All those turrets, just for us? I'm touched.
You were surrendering, Jedi. I suggest you keep that promise.
Give us a moment, please. I need to explain the situation to my friend.
Yeah, I can guess what the secret prize inside is, and I gotta tell you that it's not gonna happen. I'm having enough problems already without you winding up in Imperial custody.
Keep him talking. Trust me.
My patience is at an end. Lay down your weapons or my men will destroy you.
Well, I could do that, but you would be missing out on a tremendous opportunity. You have a chance to get on the ground floor of some really great enterprise that we've been looking for investors in. It's was inspired by my spam. I got a lot of pill suggestions for breast enlargement. And being that I don't really need to worry about that, I thought that was a real waste. But then it occurred to me, maybe I wouldn't want to invest in larger breasts for myself, but I would want to invest in them for other people. And that made me think, I bet a lot of people out there are in the same boat. They'd like to see larger breasts throughout the galaxy, and maybe they'd want to do something about that. And so that's what my organization does. You know, the way that you could donate to support, say, animals in need or some starving village, and they give you a specific, an animal out there that is supposed to be the one you're taking care of, or perhaps some child in some hut or something, and you get letters from them and pictures of how they're doing. Well, our organization is similar. You're investing in larger breasts. And over time, you're going to get, messages from how the breasts are doing and photographs of how they're coming along. Very tasteful, very tasteful. This is none of that smut shit. Let me tell you, we take this seriously. We are a class act. And so you have the opportunity to support this great enterprise. And I have run out of things to say, so I really hope that I've distracted him long enough for whatever the fuck you're planning.
Not anymore, Imperial scum.
They tricked us. Kill everyone.
Hey, I couldn't help but notice your lack of support for my plan, Kira. You gotta improvise sometimes, and you just gotta whatever pops in your head, just use, okay? And for some reason, gigantic boobs came into my mind when I thought of Hoth. I have no idea where it came from, but it was there, okay? Sue me.